This is the Serengeti. It's raw, it's real, and untamed. We came here to experience Africa, not a staged version. We wanted the wild, the unfiltered truth, and what we found shook us to the core. To stay close to the action, we chose Serengeti Under Canvas, a mobile camp that moves 5 times a year following the Great Migration. We had a truly unforgettable 2-day stay here, and I'm so excited to share some of the most breathtaking and memorable moments we captured. So let's start our journey.
What's our plan for today?
So today, we're still in Kenya. We take a flight and we reach the border of Kenya. We get down there, we do our immigration processes, cross the border on road. And then once we're in Tanzania, we take another very small flight for 15 minutes. And then we'll be where we're supposed to be, in Serengeti.
Awesome.
Navigating the smaller airports across Africa is always part of the adventure. And these little planes are the unsung heroes, whisking you between these vast national parks. So this is how we're going to go. I'm actually standing in an airport which literally has nothing. This flight was parked, I believe, last night when it came here. And this is the flight we are going to take to an airstrip on the Kenyan border. We're boarding the flight now. You could practically reach out and touch the pilot. And he wasn't separated by a cockpit door or anything. He was right there talking to us, explaining how the plane worked.
Enjoy the flights.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our little plane rumbled down the makeshift runway and lifted us into the air for a short hop. One of the coolest things is how quickly the landscape changes beneath you. You can be soaring over the Masai Mara 1 minute and touching down near the Serengeti the next. We landed on a basic airstrip right at the Kenyan border.
And during flight service, we have some candy for you.
Okay.
And our
awesome.
superstar pilot even doubled as a baggage handler. Leaving the little aircraft behind, our next leg involved a bus ride that took us through the vibrant border region and into Tanzania. For the next hour or so, we watched the world go by. Small villages dotted the landscape and the terrain slowly transitioned, hinting at the vast plains to come. And we were officially in Tanzania, but the journey wasn't over yet. On to our next airport. This time, our runway was a cornfield. Yes, a literal cornfield. So there we stood on that unassuming airstrip, the Tanzanian sun warm on our faces. Soon, our tiny aircraft to the Serengeti would arrive. The adventure was definitely on. The plane took off, bumping along the uneven ground. It was wild. But that's how you get to the Serengeti. No fancy terminals, no smooth tarmacs, just raw, real travel. And then we landed. The dust swirled around us as we stepped out.
Tera bhi Neha?
In Fogatende, in Serengeti, after a little bit of flight delay, whatever. But we are finally here and we are going to Serengeti Under Canvas.
Woohoo! And there was Emmanuel, our guide, welcoming us to the Serengeti.
Nice to meet you.
He showed us the map, told us about the resort, made some initial plans with us, and tried to understand why we were there.
Yeah,
We are great. We are excited to be here. So we are staying here with AndBeyond Serengeti Under Canvas, and they have arranged a small picnic for us here at the airport itself.
This really showed us that we were going to have a great experience. And just like that, the safari began. The landscape stretched before us, wild, bushy, and raw. This wasn't a curated experience. It was the real Africa. We were chatting with our guide about how Africa has always been a dream. And he looked at us, his voice calm, and said,
You're not, no, that dream is like it's here.
And suddenly, the dream became tangible. Hippos like ancient slumbering rocks, crocodiles basking in the sun, impalas and gazelles grazing nervously. And then our guide started narrating a story older than the history of mankind. The war between crocodiles and hippos. By the banks of the Mara River, under the golden African sun, they lie together. Hulking hippos and armored crocodiles, sharing the same waters, yet locked in a silent truce. During the day, our guide whispered, "It is peace. The hippos rule, their sheer size keeping even the deadliest crocodile at bay. But as the sun fades, the balance shifts. The river is theirs, he continued. But respect is fragile. One mistake, one misstep, and the war reignites. And the ancient standoff resumed, peaceful, yet forever on the edge of battle. Our guide's voice crackled with excitement. Leopard! Lunch was instantly forgotten as we eagerly scanned the tall grass with Emmanuel, hoping for a glimpse of this elusive Big Five member.
This is so thrilling. We were about to break for lunch, but then we received on the radio that a leopard has been spotted. So we were like, we can have lunch later. Let's go to the leopard. So we are heading there and it's like full adrenaline. So let's see if we catch it.
But this time, the leopard remained a ghost in the savannah. A slight pang of disappointment settled in, much like the feeling we had a couple of days ago when our search for a rhino in the Masai Mara ended in vain. But safaris are like that, unpredictable, filled with near misses and fleeting moments. But the adventure was far from over. We returned, our stomachs rumbling, and then Emmanuel pulled up. It was like stepping into a National Geographic spread. A table laid out, not on a patio, not in a restaurant, but under the open sky of the Serengeti. The sounds weren't the clinking of cutlery or the hum of conversation, but the rustle of leaves, the distant calls of birds, the faint rumble of a passing herd. You could feel the vastness of the place, the untamed wilderness stretching in every direction. It wasn't just lunch, it was an immersion. With lunch finished and the taste of the wild still lingering, we continued our safari, heading towards where Emmanuel said our camp was. We were still searching for the camp, but on the way, the Serengeti continued to gift us with its wonders. First, elephants. They moved with a quiet, powerful grace, their massive forms blending into the landscape of tall grass and acacia trees. The silence around them was profound, broken only by the soft rustle of their movements and occasional snap of a branch as they fed. There was a sense of timelessness about them, as if they were a fundamental part of this ancient land. Every step they took was a reminder of their steady presence. Emmanuel, with his dry wit, announced,
Welcome. Yeah. They are like, guys, come enjoy the places here. This is what you are dreaming to. This is how Africa look like, huh? Just heading back home, past the elephant families, huh? The babies between mothers and everyone is crazy. Happy to see you, right?
Hello.
It's like say, this is your home.
Then ostriches, their long, elegant necks stretched high, surveying the plains. They seemed almost comical, yet there was a regal quality to them. The way they moved with their long strides was like a dance, a strange, graceful ballet in the middle of the savannah. They were curious but cautious, their large eyes watching us with a mix of interest and suspicion. Then Emmanuel pointed ahead. Welcome to our camp. But we saw no camp, just the endless expanse of the Serengeti. Amit, ever the joker, asked.
So how is like the security?
Situation.
The security is fabulous here. It's safe.
And the answer was clear. In the Serengeti, the wild is the security.
So they'll be singing a welcome song to you guys.
Oh.
For that. But most of the sounds you get from them is like birds. That's all you hear.
Finally, we arrived at our camp. But it wasn't just an arrival. It was an experience. As we pulled up, we were greeted by a chorus of voices. A welcome song that resonated with the very soul of Africa. The rhythm was infectious, the energy palpable. And there was Amit, instantly drawn to the celebration, dancing with the camp staff. It was such a vibe, a moment of pure joy and connection.
Jambo bwana, habari gani? Mzuri sana. Wageni wakaribishwa Serengeti yetu.
Jambo.
Then we met with the camp manager who extended a warm welcome, setting the tone for our stay. And then there was Singoi. He told us his story, a story that was truly inspiring. He'd started in the camp's vegetable garden, then worked his way up, meeting guests and learning English. It was incredible, this sense of growth, of opportunity. We connected with him instantly.
Wow.
I keep it.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Asante.
We need one more glass for you.
Yes.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Ben will be upset. Ben, they know me. I'm just like calling me naughty boy, naughty boy. No way.
Singoi then gave us a tour of our tent. It was a luxurious haven in the heart of the wild. This wasn't just a camp, it was a moving camp following the Great Migration, a detail that added to the unique experience. We have a full video tour of the property here. There was even a walkie-talkie in the tent, our link to the camp staff. We even joked around with it, testing it out. As evening approached, we headed to dinner. Amit, with his characteristic humor, said it was dinner in the middle of the bush. And he wasn't wrong. So we are finally in Serengeti Under Canvas and we just came for our dinner and we're sitting under the stars by the fire, literally in the middle of nowhere in Serengeti and having such amazing fresh food. I just cannot believe that how they've AndBeyond has set this all up. So every day the menu changes, but everything is made from scratch and it's very, very fresh. They really make warm bread just before dinner and they get it for you. There's always a soup every day, a vegetable soup that's fresh, and then there's a main course and then dessert. And every day the chef comes to you. They are so well aware of all your restrictions even before you come here. Even then, once you arrive here, you feel like eating something, you don't feel like eating something, you can always tell them and they will arrange it for you. I mean, this whole experience is just beyond words. I'm unable to speak and you can see that. We're just gonna soak it all in. So see you after dinner. After dinner, we walked back to our tent. Singoi accompanied us. He explained it was for security, a reminder that even in this luxurious setting, we were still in the heart of the wild. It was an evening of contrasts, warmth, and wildness. The next morning dawned with an early call.
We heard a lot of hyenas in the night and it was initially a little scary to sleep because of all the noises, but
I didn't hear a thing. I slept so well.
It was a very early start of an adventure that would lift us above the Serengeti. We were off, bumping along in the pre-dawn darkness. We arrived at this open launch site.
So we have finally arrived at the balloon takeoff spot. People still coming in.
And there it was, the balloon, slowly inflating against the dark sky. We had a safety briefing, a rundown of how to get in and what to expect.
Look at you.
Oh, wow. Oh. That was perfect.
And then we were lifting off. The Serengeti unfolded beneath us, a breathtaking panorama. It was like watching the world wake up, the first rays of sun painting the plains in hues of gold and rose. But one of the most incredible parts of this flight was how close we flew to the Mara River. We floated just above the water surface, almost close enough to touch it. You could see the muddy banks, the paths where animals came down to drink. The Mara River, it's the lifeblood of the Serengeti. A ribbon of water winding through this vast landscape. And from the balloon, we got to see it in a way you simply can't from the ground. In the Serengeti, unlike some other balloon safaris, they take you right over the river multiple times. It's a special experience. And the wildlife, from the air, it was a living map. We saw pods of hippos, their massive bodies submerged, only their eyes and nostrils visible above the water. They looked like ancient river monsters slumbering beneath the surface. We also saw some impalas, gazelles, and langurs. So cute. The perspective was just incredible. You could see the river's course, how it twisted and turned, how it connected different parts of the Serengeti. We'd fly over it, then drift away, then come back again, each time seeing something new. As our balloon drifts down, peaceful silence gives way to an intense landing. A controlled crash, as they call it. And that brings me to why we celebrate balloon flights with champagne. It all started in 1783 in France when the Montgolfier brothers launched the first hot air balloon. But instead of people, they sent up a chicken, a duck, and a sheep. The balloon landed in a village where terrified locals, thinking it was some kind of sorcery, destroyed it along with the animals. To prevent further mishaps, King Louis XVI had an idea. Offer champagne with a royal seal to villagers whenever a balloon landed. A gift from the sky, not a curse. And so, the tradition was born. A flight, a safe landing, well, a controlled crash, and a champagne toast to celebrate. And here we are, touching down in the Serengeti, ready to raise a glass. Maisha Marasu.
Maisha Marasu.
It means long life.
Long
Cheers
life.
to all of you.
Yes.
After the exhilaration of the balloon ride, the adventure continued with a truly unique dining experience.
So we landed from our balloon safari, we had our champagne, and now it's time for breakfast in the middle of Serengeti.
Wow.
And then we arrived, not at a restaurant, but at a breakfast setup in the middle of the Serengeti. It was surreal. A table beautifully laid out under the open sky. It was a world away from the usual breakfast routine. The food was delicious. A feast after our early morning adventure. But more than the food, it was the experience, the feeling of being so connected to nature. And to commemorate our flight, we received certificates, a tangible reminder of our journey above the Serengeti. The day was now set for another incredible safari in the Serengeti. And this safari started with a unique twist. We had a special guest joining us. The famous German footballer Joshua Kimmich. We're keeping their privacy in mind, so we won't be showing any footage of them. The day began like any other safari day in the Serengeti. Early start, the anticipation of the unknown, the thrill of what might lie around the next bend. We had no idea we were about to experience one of the most incredible wildlife sightings of our lives. And then, almost out of nowhere, it happened. It was Emmanuel, our guide, whose sharp eyes scanned the landscape like a hawk. He suddenly pointed, the leopard, a hushed urgency in his voice. It was a young one. We watched as it launched itself with a burst of speed and power that took our breath away. We watched, mesmerized, as it moved through the world. Leopards are true masters of disguise, blending seamlessly into the dappled shades of the trees. Their spotted coats making them almost invisible against the branches.
Oh, wow. Manuel, super sighting.
Come on. How could we leave these places without seeing this leopard?
Without Emmanuel's incredible skill, we would have driven right past it. It was that well hidden. And they are ambush predators, patient and cunning. We could see that calculated stillness in its eyes, waiting for the perfect moment to strike.
When you see the beginnings was like trying looking like very staring at us. Like when it gets used to it, then it's like relaxed.
Just wow.
That coiled power in its frame. The elusive Big Five. The one we'd been searching for. The one that often remains a whisper in the wind. It came down to the water's edge and drank delicately. It was like getting a glimpse into its secret life, thanks to the expertise of Emmanuel, our guide. Our next sighting in the Serengeti was the exact opposite of our leopard encounter. Unlike leopards, who are shy and elusive, other cats like cheetahs and lions love to show off their strength to any spectators. This is their kingdom, and they know it. They have nothing and no one to fear. Initially, we spotted 2 lionesses in the distance, their coats blending with the golden savanna. Likely sisters or close kin from the same pride, these formidable females are the primary hunters, the hardworking providers for their entire social group. As they began to move, a silent communication passing between them, we followed, our anticipation building with each passing moment. To our surprise, the lionesses settled directly under the shade of a broad acacia tree, positioned remarkably close to one of the safari tracks. I am not sure if this was intentional or just pure luck, but they put on an incredible show for us. We watched in awe as they rested, their powerful bodies radiating a raw, untamed energy. Just look at the size of those teeth, capable of bringing down a massive African buffalo. After the adrenaline of the lioness encounter, the Serengeti continued to unfold its wonders. We spotted giraffes, but not any giraffes. They had striking dark spots, a unique feature of the Serengeti. Then we came across hippos wallowing in the water, and even crocodiles looking like armored relics of a prehistoric age basking on the riverbanks. It was a day of incredible contrasts, from the stealth and power of the leopard to the gentle elegance of the giraffes and the primeval presence of the hippos and crocodiles. The Serengeti was putting on a show, and we had front row seats. As the sun began to dip towards the horizon, painting the sky in fiery hues, it was time to start heading back. The leopard sighting, though, would stay with us as a highlight of a lifetime. Just when I thought that things can't get any better, I think they just did. So we are having a final dinner at Serengeti Under Canvas, and the crew arranged like a special dinner for us under the stars in the middle of nowhere with like candles around. And this is actual candlelight dinner with no lights. And the food is so delicious and fresh, and we just can't wait to dig in and call it a night. Saying goodbye to this extraordinary place filled with a lifetime of memories was bittersweet. So during the daytime, you can walk on these pathways alone, but during the night, you need the crew to be with you because there can be animals, and most definitely there will be animals. So if there are like smaller animals like hyena, they scratch on your tent, you can hear the sounds, but there can be larger animals as well. And if you feel that there are larger animals outside your tent, you can call your crew with the help of a walkie-talkie. So each of the tents have one walkie-talkie, and they set it up to a channel where you can reach the crew members. And that way, you're safe, you're taken care of. And just like that, it's time to leave. After a long drive, we reached the airstrip. So we are at the Kogatende airstrip, and this is where we start our journey to Krumeti. It's a 20-minute flight. It's a pretty short flight, so I think we're just going to take off and land immediately. But now we are waiting for our flight. We've finished all our check-in procedures, and we are waiting for the flight so we can get on it and get going.